Alright, what's going on, everybody? So this is something that I've been meaning to do for the longest, but I just have not done it, and I said I would. So long story short, on June 7th, I flew on Spirit Airlines, and I know what the rave is, ooh, Spirit, damn it to hell, the devil reincarnate. I get it. But I've flown on Spirit before, and Spirit is not so bad if you know what you're getting. So I already know the rigmarole regarding Spirit about printing stuff out in advance, yada yada yada. Spirit has been ultimately okay to me, right? So this one time I decided to check my luggage. June 7th, flying back from Atlanta to Philadelphia. I decided to check my luggage because it was cheaper. It was a carry-on, so it was like $10 cheaper. So I said I'd check it. Like a dummy, on my fault, I checked it with my MacBook Pro and my camera in there. I'm a photographer, graphic designer, hence all this crap I have going on behind me. And so, yeah, they lost my luggage. So I got back to Philly. It was a direct flight or whatever the case may be. Where my luggage ended up, we'll get to that in just a minute. So long story short, I got back, filed a claim. First thing you should know, because the reason why I'm doing this is because there was not a lot of information or good information from people that have had their bags lost, especially from Spirit, and how they maneuvered the system. If you don't know how to do it, it's worrisome, and it makes you get pissed off or whatever. So the first thing that you should know is that Spirit does not have a tracking system for their bags. So yes, they tag it and they put it wherever they're supposed to put it as far as flights are concerned. But like Delta and American, where it is actually scanned in to where you can see your bags on the app, if it has been loaded in, Spirit does not have that. And I didn't know that until my bag was lost, because my first question was, well, can you track it? And they advised that they don't have a tracking system. That's something that they're working on, but they don't have. So be advised of that first thing. So the next key thing is that you must claim your luggage lost while you're there. You know what I'm saying? If you leave and come back, I think they won't claim it, something of that nature. So you have to claim it while you are there. Okay, I did all of that good stuff. I made sure that they were aware, and that could have been my fault, that my MacBook Pro was in there, my professional camera was in there, all of that good stuff. They told me to wait the first 5 days. After the first 5 days, of course, they give you money per day. If you decide to either take money, like if you buy stuff, they'll reimburse you for the basic necessities as far as clothing, things of that nature. Or like for me, I was coming home, so I was already home, but they'll give you a certain amount of dollars towards a next plane ticket. So my 5 days exhausted, nothing. It went to the next spot, which was the larger scale of tracking it, which was BART. Let me go back real quick. Philly gave me a telephone number to call. No one answered the phone. No one answered the phone there. I want to give a shout out to the young man who I cannot remember his name. He actually answered the phone one day, and he was so kind to give me his cell phone number, because I'm like, man, I'm calling. This is what I sent him pictures of my luggage. This is what it is. He was so kind and so awesome. And when I go back to Philly, I may swing by there and take him a love offering. But most times they don't answer the phone. This is Philly. I can't say about anywhere else. I go through the next 30-day period to which they are looking for the bag. They go for a grander scale. So normally what happens is that if a luggage sits in a Spirit airline port for 5 days or longer, they ship it down to Miramar, Florida, where they have this huge warehouse of just lost luggages, right? I waited my 30 days. I spoke to this representative every day named Bart. He was awesome. And nothing transpired. From there, it got elevated to the lost luggage resolution department, which at this point we had reimbursement because nothing has been found. So at this point, really quickly, there's a couple of things they don't cover. For me, my MacBook Pro, electronics, photography equipment, medicine, valuable books, things that can't be replaced. There's like 11 things on the list, excuse me, that they don't replace. Anything over $50, you have to have the original receipts. So it's like, if you're claiming something, if it's over $50, you have to have the original receipt. So that was the kicker. And that was the challenge. So I was able to do what I needed to do on my end to make sure everything was accounted for. But that is the kicker with Flying Spirit. From there, you have to wait another 30 days for the process of them investigating and then cutting a check. So long story short, I'm not going to go really long with this video, is that it took literally 3.5 months before I got my check cut. From the day that I flew on June 7th, and I got my check on September 10th, September 15th, somewhere in that area, when I got my check. So 3 months and a week, somewhere in that area. The purpose of this video is that the representatives were excellent. Even though there was a messed up situation that transpired, they did legitimately lose my luggage, and I still have not gotten it back. They were the two representatives. Bart in the first department was excellent. The young man at Philly was excellent. And then Joanna, and I'm fighting a cold, that's why I'm sweating and these lights. Joanna in the lost luggage resolution department, they were on top of it. There were some times where I emailed Joanna and it took her a couple of days to reply back, but she did. There was one thing that she did at the very end that I wish she would have did at the very beginning. She touched base towards the end of the process, just touching base saying, hey, Joanna, going forward, I think you should do that at the beginning. When you get to that person, when you get, whoever is assigned to you next, they're already, depending on what was lost, they're probably pissed, distraught, or whatever the case may be. So to better have them on your side, or to have trust and faith in you, reach out to them via phone like you did me, but instead of waiting to the end of the process, do it at the beginning of the process. So at least they have that personal connection with you to where they feel like you have their best interests at heart. And this is coming from a management professional. So that would be my suggestion. Long story short, they cut me my check. I was able to replace everything for the most part that I lost. So this is not a video about bashing them because they legitimately did lose my shit. But the representatives, Bart, the young man from Philadelphia, young African-American man, kind of hefty, and Joanna were excellent in communicating processes. I stayed on top of them the same way they stayed on top of me. And one thing I would say, guys, when this happens, you're already pissed off. But remember that the person that you're dealing with didn't lose your luggage. They didn't say, ooh, that luggage right there, we're going to lose it, we're going to drop it somewhere, whatever the case may be. Be as kind, as polite as them. I'm from the South. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. So be nice. They are trying to be empathetic with you and do the best that they can per their policy and procedures. They do have a job to do and they can only go so far, which I understand. But don't be cussing the people out because technically that person that you're dealing with, they're trying to help you. And they did not lose your luggage personally. Unfortunately, they're the department that gets the brunt of all the bullshit. So, with that being said, this is almost like a praise video, even though it did take 3 months and a week to get my check. A quarter of a year, 90 days, almost 100 days to get my money. I did get it. So, guys, this is almost like a praise, yay, or a praise-ish video for Spirit Airlines because you often hear so much negative. But they did what they needed to do for me. Joanna went above and beyond as far as the voucher that I received for Spirit because I am going to fly them again. She went above and beyond and did a goodwill gesture because I didn't have the receipt for my luggage. She said, well, since you don't have the receipt, what I will do is give you a credit as a goodwill gesture, give you a credit towards your total. Because I had $200 for the voucher and then my luggage was $89, so she gave me a total $289. And then she told me, if I don't use it once it expires, just shoot her an email and she will reissue it. And so above and beyond, I can say she has been awesome. So if this should happen to you, cut the people that you're speaking with a little slack. But just know that they do not track their luggage. All right. That's all I want to tell you. Thank you, Joanna. You put a face to a name. Thank you, Bart. You put a face to a name. And thank you, young man. You already knew my face because I actually drove down to Philly because I live in North Newark. So you know my face. So thank you so much, guys. Have an excellent day. Keep doing what you're doing in spirit. Stop losing people's shit. All right, bye.